follow along. All right, so we want to write an expression for each side of the expression comparison mat shown. Simplify each side, showing all work clearly to determine which side is greater. All right, so we're going to start just by writing out what we see. So for the left, we're going to have y plus 2 minus 3 minus 2y plus 2 minus 1. And then on the right, we've got negative y plus 1 minus 2 minus 4 minus 2. Always start with exactly with what you see. Don't start pulling things out before you write all that out. So then I'm going to simplify what's before the parentheses and what's inside the parentheses. So the only thing I can do here is this will be y minus 1 minus, inside the parentheses, this will be 2y plus 1. Just grouping those like terms together. On the right, we're going to have negative y minus 1 minus 2. So then I'm going to take the opposite of what's in the parentheses. So this will be y minus 1 minus 2y minus 1. Remember, that's taking everything in the negative region and flipping it over to put it into the positive region. And here it's just negative y minus 1 minus 2. Because this is a positive 2, so we're going to make it negative. So this is a negative y minus 2, and this is a negative y minus 3. And then we'll remove a negative y from both sides. So we've got negative 2 compared to negative 3. Which side is greater? Which one? The left side. So that's just kind of a warm-up of what we've been doing. Any questions about that? All right. So now we've got Maria and Garth playing a game with the algebra tiles. I'm not going to discuss how bored you would have to be playing a game with algebra tiles, but they each grabbed a handful of tiles, put them on the expression comparison mat at right to see whose side had the greater value. Maria said, I have mat A and my side has more value. Garth, who had mat B, disagreed with her. So let's write expressions for both of those. So for mat A, we've got 2x plus 3 minus 1. And for mat B, we have x plus 5. Says simplify your expressions. Okay. So here this is going to be 2x plus 2 and x plus 5. Now, we could remove an x from both of those, couldn't we? So I'm going to write it this way. Subtract an x from both sides of that. I'm going to remove an x tile from the left, from mat A, and remove an x tile from mat B. So this is x plus 2, and this is 5. Can you tell whose side is bigger? No. It depends on how big x is. So for part C here, it asks you to find at least 4 numbers for x that make the expression on Maria's side, that's mat A, greater than the expression on Garth's side, mat B. What would be 1? Just call one out. 10. Yep, that would work. 32, okay. 18, okay. 27? All of those would be true then, right? Is there any limitation to your answers from part C? Can you pick any number you want? What no? Give me an example, just one example of a number you can't pick. Negative 5, 2, 0, right? Negative 423. None of those would work. So what has to be true about the numbers we pick in C? It has to be 4 or above? Can it not be 3.5? Can it be 3.5? Yeah, it could be 3.5. Could it be 3.1? Okay, so it has to be more than 3. X has to be more than 3. All right, so Maria decided that rather than list a bunch of possible numbers that would make the expression on her side greater, she would show them on a number line. So we're going to use the number line below to represent all of those answers. I don't know how you have done number lines before. There are 2 different ways you can do it. I'm actually good with either one of them. What some people do is they'll go, okay, it needs to be more than 3. Can it be equal to 3? No. So you put an open circle. And some people do it up here above and say it's got to be more than 3. Some people do it right on the number line and then, shade like crazy. Either of those is fine with me. So we could write this as x has to be greater than 3. Well, let's try another one that's a little more difficult than that one. Consider the inequality 2x plus 5 is less than 3. All right, let's not take the time to build this. You guys okay with that? Okay. And let's record each step on your paper using symbols. All right, so we've got 2x plus 5, and we're comparing this to 3. What could we do to simplify this at least some? I can't hear you at all. Well, we're headed that direction.
So you subtract the 5 and then you also have to subtract 5 from the 3 and make it -2.
Okay, so if we take 5 positive tiles away from this side, right, 5 unit tiles, do we have 5 that we can take away over here? No. But if we have 3 positive tiles, you don't need to draw this, just watch for a second. So if we have 3 positive tiles, and we want to take away 5 positive tiles, right? What we could do is this. All right. So that I can take away 5 positives, how many negatives would I have to add to make it the same? Wouldn't I have to have 2 negative unit tiles? So now when I take the 5 away, I have -2. So we're subtracting 5 unit tiles from both sides. So we have 2 and -2. So if we have 2 x's, and we're comparing that to negative 2, well, could we divide them both in half? Right? I've got 2x's and 2, basically what I have here at this point is I've got this 2x tiles and 2 negative 1 tiles, right? Doesn't that mean the same thing as comparing just one x tile with one negative 1 unit tile? So we're just dividing that up. So we want this to be less than. We want x to be less than negative 1. So on our number line, I'm just curious, quick show of hands, do you guys from last year, when you did inequalities, did you draw it on the line or did you draw it above the line? On the line? Above? On? Everybody drew it on? Okay, I'll do that. Your book sometimes does it above, and sometimes it's easier to see, but it doesn't matter. All right, so let's look at this last one. Jerry and Ken were solving the inequality 6 is greater than 2x plus 2. They set up the inequality on their expression comparison mat using algebra tiles and simplified it. So let's start with a sentence in words to represent the original inequality. So all words, no symbols, including numbers. 6 is greater than 2x plus 2. So what could we do to simplify this one? What can we get rid of on both sides? Yeah, we could take 2 positive tiles away on both sides. So we've got 2 x's and we're comparing that to 4. So then that would be the same as comparing each x to 2. And I don't know about you, but most students find that it's easier if they have the x first. So 2 is greater than x is the same thing as x is less than 2. Any questions about that? Okay, you have a lot of time today to get started on your assignment, so please do so.